Right, penultimate turn, and as usual, he didn't really do anything major. Really bunched up in those woods there. I'm happy they're sort of contained in those woods. Got a nice perimeter going around. He attacked pretty much piecemeal, to be honest. Again, wherever I had troops, he just took a chance to fire. Didn't make any advance or anything like that. In the south, he bolstered that area around the chapel down here to the east of Talavera. So we're going to continue that withdrawal down there. So it's looking good. Happy with this so far. And as usual, we're going to start off up in our right flank. And those units are there, bunched up as they were before, just because they don't really have an avenue of escape. These guys went into square by the look of it, and they're in pretty good order. But we're just going to chip away at their numbers with our artillery. Does look like the dragoons sorted themselves out. They did. Okay, some broken units here. Finally broke. We did break Prince of Wales Irish. We've got some artillery here that can fire. I'm going to unlimber these guys. They've got low ammo, so they need to be supplied. A little bit lacking with that supply wagon there. Not too worried. They can still defensive fire. But we did bring that gun up to the front line. Just so we can have a go at anything in front of us. It was actually for the guards, but the Warwickshires were there last turn, and they had a big old unit of 500 plus, and they were fresh, so we did have some reserves in the woods. So this might be the end, or close to the end, of the guards. Coldstreams really don't have many left at all. What's that? Maximum of 400 odd. Right, carrying on with artillery. Who else have we got? Can we bring these guys in and unlimber them? I brought this artillery forward for exactly the same reason. Is that the Warwickshires? Oh, guards, in good order. It was for the Warwickshires wherever they are. There we go. So there are 400 of them in good order. But it never hurts to have some mobile artillery on the front line. Ooh. Put an end to the guards. They have really suffered. What else have we got? Artillery. Our batteries up here then. Who can they see? That's Spanish cavalry. Or we've got some Brits bunched up. Actually going to carry on with the cavalry. And our final battery here also. And again, I'm going to keep that battery there, just in case those Spanish cavalry, they may not appear, but it acts as a defensive measure. We'll get a defensive shot against them if they do decide to make an appearance. So that's what we're looking at. Bit of a mess, to be honest, so it's a case now of pretty much just tidying up. Our cavalry, going to just move the final ones into position there. I'm going to leave these guys here, and that cavalry in the woods there could actually go into square, just because there's an awful lot of cavalry there, a lot of Spanish cavalry. Can't see any accompanying infantry, so to give ourselves the best chance of defence, we will actually go into square. That supply wagon out the way. This cavalry here, I'm going to bring it up to this high ground as well to sweep. Now we may have enough for a charge on these skirmishers. We do indeed, so we'll take them out of the game. Ah, we didn't. I thought we may have overrun them. Possibly try with the hussars if we've got enough action points or movement points. That time we did. They're pretty safe there. No major threat to them. I can always move them back behind that ridge next turn if something appears out of the woods. I go there. There's some cavalry here as well, so I'm also going to go into square. It makes life difficult for cavalry moving around when you have multiple squares in the same vicinity, just because if they bump into you, they'll lose all their movement points. Every time they move, even if they've got full movement points, they will use all their movement points to move one square because of that defensive fire. So it's quite good there. That's our biggest threat, I think, for these guys is that cavalry. What do we got up here? Got a leader, and we've got some broken troops. So go forward in line. Carry on pressing forward. Fatigue's good. And their numbers are good, same with these guys. and we'll press home. I shouldn't have done that with disorder troops, but never mind, we'll press it home. And we push them back. Now we've got a lot of troops here. We'll have a go, everybody firing. But only press home the attack with these troops that aren't disordered. We've got a leader, Le Bruyere is there. Okay, so we got some good numbers there. Now we'll descend from the heights, take another supply wagon. Okay, they became disordered, but we can bring these troops down and fire upon these KGL troops as well. And okay, they're disordered, but they can still have got the buffs. And bring them out here. Right, this mess up here again. Just chip away at their numbers. We've got 300 Northants. These cavalry, I'm still not going to attack this bunch with this cavalry because there's 200 guys in square, it's a disordered square, and there's still 300, possibly even up to 400 heavy cavalry there as well, so I would probably come off worse in that fight. So if these guys rout, they're probably going to have to go through this gap here. So what I'm going to do is get some of my cavalry poised to get these out of the way. Get some of my cavalry poised to make a charge on any troops that actually rout here, and give me a chance to charge them. So what do we want? Second brigade, you come forward. Who have we got here? First brigade dragoons, yep, we'll take them up through here, and there, hopefully they'll undisorder and sort themselves out for a charge. Now we've got the 14th Dragoons here and here. Link back up with the 3rd Brigade, and we're just going to leave them there to sort themselves out and to recover a little bit of fatigue. Going in the centre then, we're going to carry on bringing our Dragoons back. They're blown, we don't actually need them. We can bring the leader over to, or Dijon, over to try and sort his 3rd Brigade out. We've got a bunch of troops here, quite a lot of troops. So, not in good order, and a lot of them have broken. But we're going to continue chipping away at their numbers. They're both disordered. Bring a skirmish around there from the side. Can't really do anything with them apart from fire a couple of muskets. Spanish, again, just continue that firefight with the Spanish. These dragoons now, I'm going to put them into charge, but they're going to have to go up over a river, so they'll probably disorder, and then up onto the high ground just to try and deal with this routed unit up here. We'll give it a go. Okay, we pushed them back. It wasn't the most exciting attack ever, but it did its job and pushed them back a little bit more. What we can do is, what I will do is bring that unit back to deal with them in a second. So we'll bring these guys back. I can't fire with them. Can with these guys, and because we've meleeed already, we can't with infantry again. That's not an issue. These guys are disordered. We might as well have a crack at them. There we go. We did manage to push them back. These dragoons are poised to make a charge. No, they're not, because they're not facing. And we'll see how we get on with the rest of our troops. Right, who has fired here? Gonna leave these guys here. Don't need to advance. Put these guys back into column. Bring them down in the centre a little bit. Bring my secondary line up to here. They're disordered and low ammo, so ideally, and low ammo as well. So I haven't done my best for supply here. Shows you how important it is to actually get supply to the front line. So we can't offensive fire with any of these guys here. They're not disordered. Who have we got here? 1st Brigade. Okay, so we're going to leave them in situ. Ammo is running a little bit short, so I'm not going to go on the attack. I'm going to just sit it out. They do have enough ammo in their pockets to defensive fire, so that's what we're going to do with those guys. Continue bringing this battery forward. I'm going to limber these guns up and probably bring them up to this high ground around the victory point up there, just because it probably offers some nice fields of fire. It does indeed. So that's where we're going to bring that artillery there. Okay. Oh, bumped into them, so we lost our movement points. The Spanish, there's not many of them. However, the defending infantry can have a go. These guys can come into column and just follow the order of march. And you guys there. Bring that supply cart. They really did break these guys, didn't they? Really did. Fired with these guys. No, always forget about them. Can't really see anybody anyway. Apart from those guys. So down in our left centre, these guys can have a go. Again, I'm not going to move my front line forward, just going to establish it in the woods, using that road as a guide marker, if you like. We'll bring these guys forward slightly. Have a go at the cavalry. Again, have a go at the cavalry. That's quite good. Put these skirmishers out. Put these guys into line, and again, have a go at the cavalry. That's the trouble with cavalry. You see, that's a lot of firepower in front of these three formations, these three line troops. And they're going to get ripped apart. It's devastating fire. Their attack, apart from the numbers, we've taken away a lot of the numbers. They'll have high fatigue, they'll have low morale, and they're continuously getting disordered, there's no cohesion in those woods. So never leave your cavalry unattended like that in the woods. Put these guys into line as well. Just tidy up a little bit at the back. Bring these skirmishers forward a little. Bring these guys to try and sort out these skirmishers here. As I said, very much a case of just basically tidying everything up. I'm not going to have any major advance. And all now I'm doing is chipping away at him to see how many we can actually take, or how many of his troops we can actually take before the scenario is over. Where's a good place for these guns? I'm going to put them in the middle up here. Start to turn them around. Nope, not enough. Alright, so this cavalry, they're going to go in the charge just to get rid of those couple of skirmishers. Get them out of the way, hopefully. That should take them out of the picture. No. Brave little guys, but they are guard skirmishers after all, I suppose. Right, we're going to continue our withdrawal here. We're going to get these German troops further out of harm's way. We can see here that these guys have decided to advance to the river, so we will meet them. Dragoon guards, the dragoons will deal with them eventually. So I was guarding the road still. And I suppose we can actually bring our rear guard out now as well. We can start forming them back up into mounted units and start bringing them out of Talavera along the main road. Might leave these guys in situ just in case. And we can continue our withdrawal. Our guard units are going to come north. Supply wagons can use the main road. Get these guys off as well. Where are we? Supply wagon come out of the way. Skirmisher can go and sort the guard skirmishers out if possible. Tough little nuts they are. Bring these guys into the fray. Get them back. I'm just trying to continue this withdrawal. If it was longer, if we had longer rather than the 18 turns, I'd bring them back, let them rest, and not get them involved with anything really, just because they've had quite a hard time against the Spanish, a lot harder than I would have, or I did, anticipate. Where can they see along the road? Okay, that's not too bad. So we've got some nice cover in the woods. We'll keep all these guys in the woods. Not the best pathfinding. German troops against these batteries. I tell you what, they're going to risk it. And no, they're not. I take that back. That artillery's there. They can see. I was thinking of just a disordered ragtag unit trying to take out the battery, but probably not the best course of action. So we will continue to get those poor German guys out the way. And slowly but surely, we'll bring these dragoons out as well. Bring them back there just in case. Right, so that's what we're looking at. We're continuing that withdrawal on our left flank. Establish a nice solid front line surrounding the woods or the edge of the woods, and in the north we continue to push back who we can whilst covering Wellington's line of retreat. All in all, quite happy with this. So catch you on what will be the final turn.